Good evening, everyone. Welcome. I kind of think a watercolorist missed some overlapping Paolo joining moments there, but good to see all of you here already. Hope everything is working, by the way. Not lapis, no. It's already kind of it's mirrored. It's over there in the corner. There's already some binder that you see. This is Azurite. I actually was thinking I'm going to make a natural pigment today, hence the title. And Azurite is the coarsest one I have, which makes the most noise, so I thought I would entertain you with that. I think maybe a watercolorist is even staying for a shorter period now. No, I'm not going to make it too late as well. It's been a kind of exhausting week, days, month, year. But that's not for now. No, it's like it's lovely weather here. But today, for instance, that's just only today. The entire internet, the entirety of the internet, and I work quite a lot with the internet. The internet. I'm on the internet right now here as well with you. It broke down, like my Wi-Fi, everything wired, so all the Ethernet connections, everything from off the modem just was gone. So I had to fix that, and it took me way longer than I thought it would. I know my thing or two about network things, but and it was lovely weather out there outside today, and that's just kind of ruined the weather for me. But you know, I needed to fix it because I wanted to see you on time today here. So here I am, internet fixed. YouTube still whining about, you know, the yellow, as always. A suggestion that I need to use another bitrate. Well, over there it says it's a perfect connection. I don't know what's up with that. Also, sorry about the noise. If you do hear noise, I have my 3D printers on printing pens, which is needed for selling empty pens. There you go. So hope everyone is okay. How's everyone doing here? And wait, I'm just seeing it here. I'm going to change the chat look for there. Ian, why would you say such a thing? It's not bad jokes. We enjoy those over here. Good to hear, Gulchen, good to hear, a watercolorist. Azurite, gravel. Also, I want to share an idea with you. I think I'm just going to share it. Am I going to share it? Maybe I need to ask if I should share it first. Maybe I should have worked in that introduction. So I've had some really bad experiences with sharing an idea before I had it. Like, I have the idea, but I don't have the product. I don't have anything visual. I don't have anything, any physical product to show you. And I've had that countless times before. The thing is, I in my enthusiasm and with my best intentions, I shared my creative grey mass. I've shared that basically on Instagram stories most of the times in the past. And what happened there was that I got some mild kind of replies, some enthusiastic things, some, just thumbs up. The worst reactions that I got came like later, when I saw people actually copied my idea, or went with it and used it as something to go with on their own. And like most of the times they were just out of the box creative stuff I haven't seen before. Things like my dot pen, just tiny things. And I came at a point where I just decided I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to share my ideas anymore publicly, because Ian, I'm not going to declare war on the SS. That's just below my standards. I did unfollow them, by the way, and I did unsubscribe for all their newsletters because it was still bothering me a lot. But just today, by the way, their last story on Instagram just was that was it for me. They're milking their situation till it's like evaporated powdered milk that far. So anyway, no negativity on that, but I have a ton of ideas. I literally have a sheet on my phone full of things that have been in my head. I sometimes write them down as well. And today I thought of something, and I really don't. And this is not me kind of sounding pathetic or anything. Don't at least don't interpret it like that. But I had a long talk with ChatGPT about this. Just kind of sharing, just sharing what was in my head. If there's anything like that, if it's done before, if it's kind of a good idea, and I programmed it to be very critical about everything that I throw there. Also, because it's on a subject I have no knowledge of. Gulchen, don't judge me on this. This is literally the there's no one near me who I could have discussed this with. It's not a good it probably is not a good mental health sign. I do feel I'm amongst peers now and then here, so that's a good thing. But no, I don't know. It is really on a subject I have no knowledge of, and I can Google away on this, and I'll probably end up on forums with opinions of a lot of people that I can't filter out because of my lack of knowledge about this. Gunther. That's awesome. I need to have a name for it as well, and I need to kind of tweak the personality of it a bit, because I've seen some TikToks, very funny ones with. Mine does have like a lovely kind of Northern English accent, I think. I don't know how that happened. Anyway. Is it possible for me to share an idea here? Is it wise of me to do, or do I need to do that kind of like in the group chat or something like that? That's what's going on in my head, because there's like 16 to 20 people like in peaks max, but an average of I think 10 maybe every week. Eventually, after a week, every week, kind of my lives have been seen by 200 people. I think you're lovely as well, then, Ian. It really depends what kind of Northern English accent. I lack the knowledge of different accents as well, but I know. I know when it's north of London. Whenever it's between London and Scotland, for me, that's north and northern. No, that's not true. Sorry. It's so I don't know. There's my first question to you. Is would that be wise? I mean, there's Fat Filbert, welcome. If there's like an average of 10 of you here, that's at least an average of 190 people. I have no idea of who they are, who watch my lives every week. It might as well be someone who copies me, or wants to copy me, or wants to copy that idea. Doesn't even know me, but just hears the idea. I think, okay, that's something I can do. So yeah, there's that. That's my first question. In the meantime, cheers. Sylvie, I talked so much that, you know, a nice thing about that talking, it's quite fast. Like it's especially the advanced version is quite fast. And like free hands, I can just work. I can make paint. I can make a mess. I can. You can't trust yourself with my ideas. Okay, so you're one of them. That's good to know. Thanks, Sylvie. Like part of it, part of the idea is only possible because it's something that I think only I have. Now it's getting interesting. Yeah, but yeah. I don't know if I can make money with this, and that's the issue. I know it's going to cost me money because it's an idea, and I really want to try it. I am going to try it. I even ordered the materials for it already. So it already cost me some money, not a lot, but some money. And maybe it's not even going to work. I think I like my idea. And that was this, by the way. I like my idea. But that's maybe my kind of ADHD. The hyper focus on something within this niche. By the way, I trained myself to to make every side quest I make, every idea that I have, I make it within this niche. It has to do something with this, otherwise my life is going to be ruined. But Yeah, but what it calls exactly. You know, I know when Sylvie puts this on the market, where you know, if I would share this and Sylvie puts it on, I know like, okay, you've had it from this, and I follow Sylvie, and maybe she blocks me just so she can get away with it. No, I think way better than that of you, Sylvie. But there's not a lot of people that, like, I'm not in a lot of contact with, or I don't. My interaction with them isn't that much as it used to be, or as it you know, as it could be. So I don't really see them on my feed that much. It really depends what kind of business you're in, Ian. But it can get very expensive, especially if you're working with pigments and start collecting them as well. No one warned me for that. No one. Well, I think most people would say that about, you know, having a YouTube channel where I teach my ins and outs about making paint while trying to sell them as well. Yeah, I should talk with someone about that as well. Maybe ChatGPT is available again tomorrow. Anyway, I've talked so much with ChatGPT that I ran out of my advanced talking time. I didn't know that was a thing. So when I have like a beautiful sky, blue sky with clouds filled bubble when I speak. And now it went back to like a black dot when I speak, like lifeless. And the sound, the sound of the voice, literally the sound quality of the voice and the voice itself. So not only the type of voice, but also the sound quality, literally what came out of my speaker. It just went like downhill. Sorry. Yeah, that was kind of interesting to experience that, running out of advanced talking time with my chatbots. Yeah. Oh, that's nice, Gulchen. Sylvie, I don't have a business idea really. Wait, Ian, you want to manufacture CNC machines? That is awesome, but that is quite a competitive market, I think, nowadays. When with the 3D, I mean, I encourage you to do so. But the things I've seen in development, especially with companies like that do 3D printing, or yeah. And what kind of market? Like household or like industrial? Okay, so Sylvie, I was reacting on your question. It's not about paints and pigments, but it has something to do with paint making more. And it's not something quite marketable. I mean, yeah. I really want to talk about this, actually. But it's something sellable, I think, for a very small audience. Semi-professional, okay. So yeah, I'm kind of conflicted when it comes to whether I can share or not. Everything inside of me says kind of, yeah, don't do it. But otherwise, I do enjoy the talks here and sharing and ideas, everything like that comes from you. No, it's paints and tubes is something I'm working on. I can just be open about that. Paints in jars. I've looked into that. What was more like convenient to have paints in tubes and jars, but I don't think watercolors like are very interesting in jars. Packaging wise, it would be, but it looked quite cheaply everything. And I do like a traditional feel on things, so tubes it was for me. I'm sorry to hear that, Ian. I mainly, you know, thing is mainly, I don't think it's an idea that will sell. I think I will make this. I will make a prototype or something like that. And I don't think I'm going to sell even one of them. That's the worst part, but I'm very enthusiastic about it nonetheless. Yeah. So that's not quite a. I don't think that's a good start. Business-wise, it's not even like a good concept. But I do want to get it like out of my head in a practical way, so it can be in my hands, and maybe I can convince people to be interested in it or actually sell it if it works. Now it's getting very mysterious. Ian, have you looked at like any companies that kind of do that? That sounds awesome. Thinking about it, I'm just you know reading what everyone's saying and thinking about my. And it's actually. I don't even think it's a good idea, but I'm still enthusiastic about it. I still wanna try this. There really is something wrong with me, I think. You've talked about that, Ian. Yeah, that's awesome. I know when the first makerspace launched close by here, and I visited there. Just I think it was like just when I finished during the art academy, or even the same year, maybe even the last year. I was in there. I saw this was 2011, I think, 10 or 11. The first full color 3D print CNC machines that did amazing things with plywood and aluminum or aluminium. I saw so many cool things there, and 3D modeling, which I really want to learn still to this day. I've never worked a day there because it just didn't fit like the thing I was doing then, unfortunately. So it's been quite a long wish of yours, Ian. Okay. First, I need to fix this. One moment, please. Why is this not working? Oh yeah, because my Wi-Fi just stopped with living today. Mark is from Hawaii. Okay, need to go into studio mode, and then I'm going to do in the milling only mode, sources, top view. Oh, okay. Sorry for the image, by the way. It's I know it's a mess. There we go. I'm back again. This is better. So, glad I didn't need to restart the. I didn't check that. Why didn't I check that? Where is my mask? I need my mask. There is my mask. Ask away about PO36. In the meantime, I'm just going to put this on so you won't hear my answer. I'm just joking. Sorry about that. So why am I doing this? Well, because I'm going to work with Azurite. And it's still a copper pigment, and since I'm working with pigments daily, I really need to do this. I don't know what that was. So it's wait, I'm just going to first put binder in here. Binder here, so it's wet, so I can take off the mask, okay? Yeah? After that, you won't hear me because of the crushing noise. Hello there, sentient tent. So as you might be able to see, this is a beautiful deep blue. That is quite similar, in my opinion, in its wet state, in its raw wet state like this, to Yinmin blue. It's not ultramarine, it's not cobalt, it's like an in-between thing, which is exactly what Yinmin is. And I do like that deep blue that just shines through, but kind of it's already kind of reacting on moisture already when I'm just going to leave it like this. You see it kind of lighting up a bit already, especially over here. little air bubbles here. Those are mostly air bubbles. But when I just go over it like this, you can definitely see that line, that difference over here. Same with this. Why would that happen, Ian? I don't know if you make noises with them. You know, that could have been the thing, but so right now I'm going to make a little bit of noise. My apologies in advance. This is a lovely color. Also, I want you to kind of remember, maybe I'm just going to put a little drop aside of this so we can see the color difference. Sorry, I will put it not underneath my screen over there. Oh, come on. Where did I just leave my tiny palette knife? There it is. Okay, so this is just for as a reference, right? So for later. I didn't lie about the noisiness, did I? Sorry for those of you who wear headphones. This is the worst kind of bad ASMR. And I love it. As a paint maker, as a viewer, I would really be annoyed by this. I don't actually even want to know what Ian was doing on my age, since that would kind of... I don't think I will be coming back on live just because I'm so embarrassed by me. Just, you know, the most exciting I can do is crush a blue stone with a glass muller while keeping my hands clean. So yeah. Yeah, it is shifting. It is going towards that kind of greenish leaning sky blue. Carborundum blue. Yeah, almost. This is one of the easier crushable mineral pigments that I have, especially because, you know, it's just not that much work to go from this deep blue to already this light blue. I'm going for a cerulean kind of blue in the end. On my Hackman gauge, that would translate to something like from 30 onwards, somewhere like that. Teddy, welcome, which is quite coarse, by the way, 30. But I do like the look of that. So like this is proof that minerals, once they are molded or ground finer, they lighten, kind of the color lightens. Yeah, Sylvia, I'm sorry. In watercolors, what's carborundum? Silicate carbide. It's basically the hard powder that is used to roughen up the bottom of a muller or a glass slab in our case. Okay, I'm quite curious what comes out of that. Sylvie, the PO36 question about the creaminess. Some pigments have that. I tend to have that a lot with PB17, for instance, phthalocyan. It is very thirsty. I think that's the best way to put it. Gel, no, not gel-like. That's it's not gel-like. Yeah. So in my case, I have PB36 over here. I think. Is that 36? Yeah, that's 36. Wow, that was quick. The thing is, with watering it down, that's really weird. What happens, I don't have a lot of experience with PO36. I know it, but because I don't sell it, I don't use it very often. With pigments that do have that, and especially PB17, since I make quite larger batches of that, and I keep that in a jar or in a syringe. Last time I did it in a jar. Next time I'm definitely going to do it in a syringe, since it really doesn't matter how much water you add, it's going to stiffen up anyway. Like if I add twice the amount of water, and mix it until it's very fluid and put it down. Later on, it's not separated, it's just as stiff as it was before. But more transparent? I don't know. It's really thirsty, it's weird. It's a weird pigment. I've tried that. Like, okay, what is the amount of water I need to have for a good paint on my slab? What is the amount of water I need to have for pouring it nicely? I found out that pouring it nicely isn't even an option with PB17 in my case. It's like stiff peaks that I need to scoop in and scoop down, and I need to make sure all the air bubbles are out there. So basically that's that's how I do it. Although I have tried a small batch with more water, which did evaporate. It did pour nicer, like at the moment I made it, it did pour in as a nicer paint. It evaporated more as well, but it didn't had any influence on the quality of the paint. So that was good, but it needed way more layers, which created quite large air pockets, which was a problem with. I tested 3 pens with that, like I made an amount of, I can make at least 3 layers for 3 pens. I ended up using that much water that I thought I had enough paint, like pigment wise I had enough paint, but because I added so much water, the air pockets got so large I didn't end up with 3 full half pence, which was weird. I did, to explain myself, I used enough pigment for 3 half pence, but the last layer, like I had paint left, so I poured dot pens out of that, and same happened like with a dot pen like this. It kind of looked like this. Let me just show. Why is this not? Why is nothing working, guys? Why are you doing this? It kind of looked like this. This was like a dot pen that I ended up with. Kind of useless for the amount that I want to have in my dots. But seriously, why is this not working? Like, it's not working. I want to do this. Wait, let me fix this first, and then I'm going to yeah, I want to do that, and then I want to like, this should be the, there it is. Okay, sorry, I know you don't, is this, no, this is not working. Sorry. Okay, going back as well, that one, yes, that one, then this one, then this one again, and now it is working again. Okay, so by just showing you that amount of paint, like I was left with. Black screen of doom. No, I did not. Rick, no, this is could be. No, this is Azurites. And I am just going to put this dot of coarse wetted pigment here. So yeah, that's visible enough. And so this is what I started with here. This is what I started. Let me just get this. Why are you doing this? I want you to go with there. And is this the right focus? Let me just see if it is. This is the right focus, right? Yeah. But that's not working. I think about there. Okay, so the blue. Hey, watercolorists, based on the comments that I can read, thanks for joining. Are you going? I can't find it anymore. Oh, okay. Thanks for joining. I did read it, and hope to see you next time again. Okay, anyway, I'm all up to date again with the chat. And ooh, that was a nasty noise. So I want to have like a full before and after, but you can see the difference. Still, I'm actively thinking whether I should share my idea or not, or if I want to discuss it with you. I think it's not even about sharing my idea. It's more about I just want to throw it on the table and get some opinions. I think. And it has more sides. Realistically, I think as a business idea, I don't think it's a good idea. As a niche idea, I think it's quite a nice idea. I really like the idea. But I also don't want people to kind of discourage me because I really want to try it. That's kind of the it's like multiple layers there, and which makes it difficult for me. Like I talked about in the past about this, I really don't have anyone in my basically I don't have anyone in my close circles that I can share this with in a meaningful way that they understand what I'm trying to do. And that would be helpful for me, like their feedback, which I don't want to sound mean or harsh to anyone, but if you are like into making paint or into using watercolors a lot, I think you know what I talk about. Unless you go to, you meet with people that do the same thing. I just think I'm going to handpick a few people, just a few individuals, a few of you to ask about this. If you're really interested in what I'm doing and have no ill intentions, you can send me a message on Instagram. But like that, I'm fine. I'm fine with sharing it, but only if you if you want to shed your light on it as well. So let's see if this is fine enough already. Let's scoop it up first. Nice Muller print over there. Why is that happening? Why is that up more? Do you think it is? It is paint making related, yes. But I think it can also be considered as a tool. So if you would buy it, you would have a tool. So let's see how we did in this first run. Can be a little bit finer. Like I said, I wanted to go at least to around 30. This is just above 30. Why? Because I want it to feel. I think you can mull this, grind this as fine as you want to. The longer you go. But I don't want this to be a cerulean blue that like has the same look as a cobalt cerulean. I want this to feel like a natural mineral pigment. No, except Rick Gulchen. Yeah, it is quite coarse, so it's going quite nicely off the slab. But this is the stuff that makes knives out of your palette knife. The fine, the coarse, the fine grains, the coarse pigment here just sharpens your knife as a whetstone. So it's, you can actually hear it. Just, you can hear the coarseness. Coarseness? You know what I mean. Probably, let's have a look if I can find a very old palette knife of mine that has been used a lot. I think this is one of the. Let's have a look if this works. Do I have a piece of A4 paper? Actually, do think I don't think this is this sharp, but no, it's not. No, it's not a sharp. It is. No. I mean, no. It's not as sharp as a knife. This is definitely the sharper side. Maybe from an angle. That angle works. Okay, it is as sharp as a knife. That angle worked better. So that's the angle I'm like at when I scrape things off. This makes nasty cuts in your fingers. Talking out of experience there. I'm not finished yet. Thanks, Ian. I want it to be a little bit finer, and I'm just going to take all this precious dark blue pigment that is on the side of my muller with it. So basically, what I'm just showing you here, if you use a lot of force with a little bit of pigment and a lot of water, so you can move around a lot, you see how light it goes. I don't want to go this fine though. I don't want to go this fine. Kind of looks like someone stepped on a Smurf right now. Cardboard, like the paper, like the boxes, the boxes, cardboard, this stuff. Those have been my nastiest cuts. You don't expect it to be sharp. Teddy, very good question. How do I know how to stop? Well, I've made my professional test here, and I wanted to go to here and then smear down with lines, and the lines here start about 15 nanometers, micrometers, too high. I wanted to go like from here and a little bit further. That's my professional test. Absolutely right. From the sound, yes. Sound and feel. So the sound is very important. Is a very important part of this, that you learn with experience. Because I can't teach this from sound. I use a lot more pressure than the average person with a muller. That is one of the factors. Also the movements, which angle. This is something I haven't talked about before, I think. I have a certain angle that I put my pressure on, so I'm always kind of tilting it like this in a very exaggerated way on my slab. I'm not tilting it down, but like I'm not kind of pushing straight down. So I think in a few years you might notice that on my mullers as well. I don't do it right. I don't see it right now, but yeah. So that's why that happens sometimes as well. I do think we are there though. I should have cleaned this before. Is there a difference there? I don't know. Gulchen, do we have a different word for that in Dutch? I should know that. Probably. That is better. Yeah, but that's pellet, right? A pellet knife. So what Rick says, like, we should have like a verfmes. Schildersmes. I don't know, that sounds weird. So, big before and after. So this is a just wetted coarse azurite pigment, not mulled, but just wet with binder. And this is mulled paint made from the exact same pigment that started like this. So there's that. I mean, I do really enjoy this process of making something so coarse into something like this smooth, because it is, I wouldn't say buttery smooth. It's still a coarse pigment, as you can hear, but I mean, this is completely different and yet the same. So yeah. There is that. Azurites, in its pigments, it's a natural mineral, but has the pigment index number of PB30. Now I'm doubting myself. It is PB30, right? I'm just going to wait for anyone to kind of help me with this. Please confirm it's PB30. Why? Like, this is a sign that I need to go to bed early tonight. Yeah, it's PB30. I know for sure. It is. I know for sure. I know for so sure. I'm still waiting for anyone. I don't speak, unfortunately, I don't speak German. The only German that I did speak was during my school time, and I just memorized that. So I can pass the tests, but 9. I mean, Ian, you are funny. PB30. Actually, you should ask that in German, Sylvie. I think it's a palette mess, just like palette knife. I think that's in Dutch. Which is Azurite, right? And malachite, by the way. Okay, seriously, that was no yes or no, so now I'm really in doubt. Why would you do that to me? PB30, copper carbonate, or malachite, Azurite, genuine, verdita. All right, yeah, I'm right. That really kind of matters for my understanding of German. I mean, I can understand enough German to go to a supermarket there. If the people over there talk in a either, you know, slowly or without too much of an accent or dialect, or but you know, there's always people that don't do that and don't think about, you know, just going a little bit slower. Whereas all the German tourists here just kind of assume that everyone's talking German. Which is really annoying, because I really can't talk back. Well, I was at the Openluchtmuseum last week, and I noticed that there's usually there's a lot of, especially during the holidays and weekends, there's a lot of German people, German-speaking people. Well, I assume they are from Germany over there. I noticed that there were a lot of English people last week. A lot of them. English, American. That is actually quite, really, that is good. That is good, Sylvie. I mean, I know when, during my time in high school, we had like school trips to Austria and Germany as well, to the very touristy. Really, I'm just going to let it dry like this. To the very touristy parts that also, especially Austria, where they ski a lot, where there's like native people that just speak Dutch in a more understandable way than some of my teachers did. Oh, really? You're from that part. I'm saying it like that would mean something, but no judgment there. I'm just going to sell this as a full pen. Turning it around and that would be fun. Don't start talking about cryptos. They're giving me hope again. So there's that. Oh, Lawrence, you forgot to make a swatch. Oh yeah, thank you. I did forget to make a swatch. The hope with a lotto, I don't know, ticket is usually less long-lived than what crypto can do. Since that goes in cycles. I need more pigment. Until you find those American, Australian and Canadian accents, dialects that you can barely understand. And I think you coming from a northern part of England, I think loads of Americans will have trouble understanding you as well. No judgment there to anyone from the US. But I've seen the TikToks and it must be true. Swatching paper. I need to find some paper for swatching. Shall I use the paper that I used last week? Yes, I will just use this lapis paper. Yes, everyone is with me with this during this exciting moment. Ta-da! So we went from that to this. Like I said, quite a cerulean blue. I think this color balance is a little bit better. I get that. I get that. There's a lot of similarities between those. Cerulean-esque. I do like that. So yeah, here's my my take on Azurite blue. Because it can be a lot of different things. As you've seen, I mean, I can probably make this finer and maybe make it a little bit lighter, but maybe it has too much water now already. This isn't the purest version of Azurite. I mean, as you can see, this is the same pigment around me here. There's a lot of debris and lighter pieces in there. So it's not a very washed pigment. If you have a very fine, dark blue Azurite, which is more expensive as well, I'm going to be really honest about that. I think I do have a version. My shoulder is back again, by the way. 6 weeks appointment at the hospital for further research and stuff like that with other specialists, so hopefully not too bad, but Azurite. Oh, I think it is over here. This is not. Azurite? Hello? Nah, never mind. Paolo, thanks for joining. And hopefully see you next time. So yeah, so this is as you can see around me, this is the same pigment. This is quite a coarse one with impurities, and not impurities, you know, anything other than minerals, but just the minerals around the azurite mineral, azurite rock, stone, I don't know how you call that, haven't been filtered or washed. So it gives a rather nice looking light blue. But obviously, even the most expensive azurite, the finer you grind that up, the more pale it's going to get, but not as light as this one. But I did like the, you know, since I sell Frangelico blue, ultramarine, Yinmin, you know, more darks. This is a granulating, but a natural granulating pigment. So it has a coarseness to it as well. Whereas a granulating cobalt, you have, there's a look to it. The particles are granulating, but they're very even and fine. This, you can actually just see that the particles are coarser, but granulating as well. So I really like that combination of that sky bluish color. I'm going to, wait, I'm probably going to make that on a, do it on a different paper. Let's have a look. I want to get a more even swatch without too much difference in wash and mass tone. Here will probably, because of the granulation, still happen a bit, but I try to spread it out as evenly as possible. I want to make a scan with the spectrometer of this and compare it in a few weeks with the exact same swatch. And I'm going to compare it with a swatch of dried paint next to that. So you can see, because it's a copper mineral based pigment, the color will change. It is quite light fast, but it's not the most stable of pigments, since the color will turn more greenish. So yeah, this is like as even as I can get it. Hopefully it dries that way as well. A bit too patchy for your liking. That is very okay. Yeah, I do like it, but I am a fan of granulating single pigment, wow, I need to go to sleep. Single pigments that granulate. That was terrible. Yeah, I think in the Netherlands, either all the way to the south of Limburg or all the way to the north in, you know, whichever province is there, Groningen, Friesland. I think the extremes are quite bad there. Yeah, Ian, with in your case, the bread rolls have a new name. That is. I think that's the case here with like the specialties in a chip shop. Right, when you order chips or fries for our American friends, like there's a local specialty everywhere. Really, Gulchen? I mean, I know Rowanese, but I've never tried mixing yellow ochre with opera rose. To be honest, I don't think I have opera rose as a pigment mix. That is so extreme. Try to explain that, Gulchen. No, I know what you mean. It's quite easy to explain though, but it's always weird for people who don't know. Shall I pour another drink? Shall I just call it a day? What shall I do? It's been an hour and a half in 2 minutes. What to do? Oh, I know. Not only the Dutch places. I mean, what first was New Amsterdam was now New York. There's a lot of places that they just directly copied. I know. Make cobalt blue. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to make another paint. I've had it full today. Oh, now I deserve another drink. Thank you. That was just the encouragement I needed. Oh, that's nice. For those of wondering, whiskey, Glenfiddich. Just enjoying in a moment of silence here, if you don't mind. Let's not make it too serious. No. Nah. Oh no, what's happening? Why is it stopping? Okay, sorry. What did I do? What did I do? I prefer whiskey. Irish. It really depends on my mood. Actually, I really enjoy the difference between a Glenfiddich, for instance, like this. Just a smooth, what I think is a smooth Scottish whiskey. I do like a smoky one as well, but an Irish whiskey I have a Redbreast 12 sherry cask that I really enjoy. I have a Jameson. Oh, it's actually here, the Jameson. Or Jameson. IPA cask, which I really enjoy. It's just, you know, different moments. I have some bourbons as well. Or maybe even like only one now, I think. And there's a time for that as well. But that's just my preference. As long as it's like above 40%, then it's... No. I'm not as simple as that. Sylvie, just try Jameson, whatever you would call it, like the regular one. You lived on Space, really. Oh, there's some really good distilleries there. Yeah, Jameson, just try that. It's smooth. It has a lot of character. It's very recognizable. It's really easy to start with. Really easy to mix as well. A Jameson ginger ale is fantastic. They serve it at the distillery as well. Yeah. My liver is functioning fantastically. I'm actually just giving it a workout right now. I mean, you know, working out is good for you, right? Pushing you to your limits and seeing, not seeing how far you could. I'm not like that. I'm not a heavy drinker at all. Like I said, actually, only nights I do actually still drink is during this night, and sometimes an IPA at dinner. But yeah. Oh, but this is a good one. Anyway, what was I doing? Checking this. Why is it not working? That's just weird. Okay, never mind. So yeah, I'm going to clean it up later. I'm just going to join the chat here, and that's not the way. This is the way. I'm always kind of wondering if someone would get that reference to the Mandalorian here or not. I don't know. Since this is a form of sugar, basically. It contains sugar. Could you make a gum arabic alcohol? Like a gum arabic mead or something like that? Would that be possible? That would be like the ultimate paint maker's drink, I think. Like the absinthe of our niche. could try. I mean, I can try it. Just add some brewer's yeast to my binder and see what happens. I mean, there's already honey in it. What can go wrong? Wait, I'm going to research. It's used as a natural emulsifier and stabilizer that also gives beverages enhanced mouthfeels and texture. Like it's used in winemaking to improve mouthfeel, making a thin wine taste fuller bodied. A lot of drinks include gum arabic as well. As a thickener in sodas and things like that. It's also used in wine to avoid sediment. I don't see anything about... It would be weird to make gum arabic alcohol, since you've seen what happens when you put alcohol with gum arabic. That happens. That disgusting piece. Which I still keep. Yeah. Well, exactly, sentient. I think you can, Gulchen. I think it's probably in powdered form, but if she does use that. You can also just crack open an egg and add pigment and just, you know, make a very traditional paint. I'd start with an easy pigment in that case. I will never try to eat paint, but making a beverage out of my binder it does kind of... No, I already have an idea. Nope. 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 I mean, I know, I've seen people make mead, which also always looks super easy when you see it online. Chimay is nice as well. Oh, I don't envy you driving 4 or 5 hours, Sylvie. You cleaned your Mini today. You have a Mini? What? I'm not surprised. I don't know why I am. I'm like, it suits you. Good for you. Thanks for joining, Sylvia. Hope to see you next time. A Guinness. I do like a Guinness. I've had like a I know it's only dark, not Guinness, but what was it called again? It was a caramel coffee based stout. And it really smelled like caramel coffee. Like a caramel frappuccino, if you would smell it, but like with a hint of hops and alcohol when you smell it. It tasted a little bit more acidic than the smell. It smelled really sweet, but that the acidity was the acidity that reminded of the acidity of a good espresso. So yeah, that was mind blowing. Like it, and the mouthfeel. Like speaking of mouthfeel, it was like just sucking on a piece of gum. It was so thick. It was syrupy and 11%. So, but it didn't really feel like it was really weird. It was weird beer. Yeah, it was a weird stout to have. Yeah, so there's that. I'm open for, when it comes to food and drinks. I'm open for everything weird, basically everything that's just off, just not off by date and expiration, but something that's just out of the box off. Sours are good as well. I had a passion fruit IPA with loads of acidity in it, and I don't think it really was an IPA anymore. Oyster and meat stouts in it. Wow, that is. Has that been banned? It sounds like like it should have been oyster stout. I've had oysters with like a beer vinaigrette on it. I can imagine that, but an oyster stout, I really can't imagine anything with that. That sounds weird. There was a I visited a local brewery a while back, and the things they've tried, and they never sold any of those, but they told me what they tried. It's super weird. They just throw in like real pieces of leather and pieces of wood or charcoal or anything like that, just to see what does it do, what is it going to do. And those were like high percentage beers. It's not like a regular one. Oysters in the mix. This is seriously. There's the shells, maybe like something like that, to get that kind of the sea-ish flavor in there, but the oysters, like the no, this is I really can't imagine. I mean, I can imagine, and I can see it. Like, I can just see it. I can picture it. That's just doesn't seem right. Fishy and fishy. Yeah, no. Like I said, oysters with the beer vinaigrette. I had fish in beer batter. I get that, But the other way around is just, it just doesn't seem right. Just, was it good, Ian? I mean, that's, maybe I should start with that. How is the doggo doing, Gulchen? I can invite you with my, I don't know, can I invite you during my live? Invite the doggo with my live. So let's see if I can, it's still a bit damp. It's high humidity again. The temperature rises here. No, I'm sleepy. Speaking of sleepy, I think this was a good bridge to ending this stream. I'm going to. No, I'm just going to take the risk. I'm going to take the risk. Since I really do want to. Where did I leave my spectrometer? I used it today and put it in a plastic bag. I have the bag, but where is it? Oh, there it is, all the way in the bottom. So yes. So this is today my let's have a look here. Connects. Search for device. Okay. Library. Measure. Why can't I do this? Add a reference. Shall I just do this then? Can I do this? Yeah, it's 50% humidity here now as well, but outside I think it is a little bit more since I it is set like around 50 here in my studio. Can I do anything with this? Let me just first. This is Azurite. Okay. Manually add color. No. Click to measure. Okay. And we're going to call this a fresh painted from the slab. There we go. Saved. Let's share that with you as well. I'm still here. Yes. Let's just take this into. Can we do this here? No, we can show it here. So this is a freshly painted Azurite. And it looks lovely. So quite a lot of, there's a lot of blue obviously, but quite a lot of greens as well, cyans and greens. Towards the yellows and reds, it kind of flattens-ish. There's a slight curve. I can compare this with my Azurite. I can compare this with my cerulean blue, for instance. If I can just do it like this. Let's add to the color bar, library color, the Azurite freshly painted. Yes, okay. And then just click to measure here. Oh wait, let's remove this. Just select it, please. And then, so this is compared to cerulean blue, and maybe on a bit of a more mass tone part, which makes it even worse. Okay, so I have Teddy asks for lapis. Okay, let me just get to the blues. I have a bad Frangelico. I need to redo that Frangelico here. I really don't like. I don't like it. No, I'm not liking these. I'm not liking these. I'm going. Oh, is there anything that's falling? Kind of. I'm going to go with the big old swatches over here. Since I need something that kind of compares with this. So I have this is my, oh, here underneath me. This is my curve of the freshly swatched. This is a very old swatch of Azurite, same pigment. So as you can see, the blue lowers, it shifted towards more green, more yellow, and everything is a little bit higher as well. If you're wondering what does that look like, I can show you. That looks like that. So this is the color shift it's going through, but this is a year or two old. So it's not that bad, but there is a difference in color, as you can see. Right? With ultramarine there isn't, but this is quite a difference with color. Let's look for a good lapis one. There it is. So this is lapis. This is interesting. So lapis reflects more red. Everything is a little less saturated, a little less, it's a little bit darker as well. But the peaks are a little bit higher, lower. Apart from everything after the, say, 620 nanometers, it goes up towards the red again, a little bit more. So that is interesting. That's just I don't know what to do with the information, but it is interesting to see. It's the same amount of near ultraviolet wavelengths all the way on that side. That's literally the same spot. 0.3 out of the, of the one, so 30% reflectance over there. Yeah, so it's I like this comparison. Anything else? A lapis ash, for instance, I can do that as well, since that is a lighter version, way less saturated, so that would be definitely visible. I did not expect that. Okay, what just happened? This is lapis ash. This is the the palest lapis that I have. This is this stuff compared to this dot. So this stuff compared to this dot looks like this, and that dotted line is the lapis. So the beginning of the curve is kind of the same-ish level, even a little bit more reflectance in the near ultraviolet, a little less blue, but then more cyan-ish, way more green, and it rises to the red. This is so, but literally, this is such a shame. I'm really enthusiastic about this, but for this, I have no idea what to do with this information, apart from the fact that I really did not expect this, especially after seeing Fra Angelico Blue. Can you use this information? Absolutely, when you're mixing. So you know this has a lot of red, near infrared wavelengths reflecting. So if you need to make it a little bit warmer, a blue or a light blue, that's really interesting. But that's, you know, with the same thing with, let's see, for manganese blue, for instance. We're going to clear the, remove the patch, yes. And we're going to add from the library blue, and then we're going to have the manganese blue to the library. I'm just going to test it with the manganese blue I have in front of me right here to see if it's kind of close, my swatches. Let's that, and yeah, that's enough. Right, that's close enough. Manganese blue versus manganese blue is green check. We passed the test. Okay. So now let's see how that compares with PB17, for instance. This is a really harsh mass tone of PB17 that I have. So this is not the best swatch, but that's more interesting, I think. Kind of same curve. Kind of the same curve, but like I said, mass tone. Enjoy your breakfast, Rick. Have a great day. So yeah, I really like this stuff. Comparing, for instance, my going to remove this patch again, and I'm going to add PB17 to it, and I'm just going to scan phthalo blue as a comparison, because that's often used as a replacement for it, which seems fair looking at this, right? So kind of seems fair overall, especially looking at that PB17 as is more saturated. It's just reflects more color, because this is not a wash. It's not lighter in, more transparent. There's more whites in it. It's just way more saturated than in all these wavelengths. Comparing PG50, which other people think is a cyan, with it, seems fair. It reflects less wavelengths in the 500 region, so less cyan, but more green and a little less blue. So I get why this is used as a cyan as well, which doesn't say anything. It doesn't really add anything to our knowledge. It's just, you know, good to just visualize these things sometimes, and then find out that lapis ash reflects a ton of red, which I would have never guessed. Any other pigments I should scan right now while I'm at it, or otherwise I'm just going to go offline. I've been online for 2 hours now and I'm tired. But I mean, this looks nothing like it, I know. It's just, I just wanted to see green gold. Sorry about that. No, I'm just... That's like a very weird triad right there in colors. I'm just going to go offline. If you have any suggestions what to scan, you know, from my swatches or anything else, pigment-wise, or compare it to anything that I might have, which I probably do. No, sorry, I do. But just let me know down in the comments, in the chat still, when I'm going to clean up a little bit here. My troll pan has almost dried. I can just put it here under the close-up. As you can see, it almost looks like an actual half pan of paint, which it isn't. Ha, that's fun. I think that's about it. Thanks so much for joining, everyone. If you're interested in what my idea was, if you got that part, if you already joined at the beginning, and if you really want to know, send me a message. Maybe I can discuss it with you. If you don't, that's fine as well. I'm just going to mull it over a little bit more. There we go. That was my sign. Thank you so much for joining, everyone, and I really hope to see you next week. Bye, guys.